Grab your cocktail and get ready for this episode of the Old Fashioned Masonic Podcast. Welcome to the Old Fashioned Masonic Podcast, where we talk all things Freemasons while drinking an old fashioned. I'm Brian, and it's just a little bit different. We're going to talk about a letter that I drafted and sent to the Pope. Now, some of you knew Byrd was a little bonkers, but you're thinking, why in the world, Byrd, are you sending a letter to the Pope? You're not even Catholic. You're right, but it's not about me, it's about everyone. So we all know the history that Freemasons are not loved by the Catholic Church. It goes all the way back to the Knights Templar days, and if you fast forward, even in 2023, Pope Francis and the Catholic Church, the Vatican, they doubled down. So we hope with the new Pope, Pope Leo XIV, and being American, that maybe he'll just reconsider. So before we talk about this a little more in depth, let's go over the letter that I mailed to the Pope this week. So here's the letter that I've sent to the Pope, and a lot of you will just read along as I'm going. But for those that are listening to us on any streaming services such as Spotify, Apple iTunes, or others, we'll read this aloud for you. It's drafted to Your Holiness. As you embark on your new chapter, I am deeply concerned with fostering greater understanding and unity. Humbly implore you to consider a matter that weighs heavily on the hearts of many Catholics and Freemasons alike: the prohibition against Catholics joining Freemasonry. I understand the historical complexities that have led to this stance. However, I believe the present time calls for a renewed examination of this issue, particularly considering the realities we observe. It is a well-known fact that throughout history, and indeed in our present day, numerous individuals have held dual membership in both the Catholic Church and Freemasonry. Folks listening to this podcast, we all know Catholic Freemasons, right? These individuals often live lives of faith and service, contributing significantly to their parishes and communities. We are aware of many instances where Catholic Freemasons are major benefactors to various parishes. Their generosity often acknowledged and accepted by their priests, despite the existing prohibition. This creates an environment where participation is known, leadership is aware, yet the forbidden status persists, leading to problems, right? It's a problem. Historically, Daniel Carroll was one of two devout Catholics to sign the United States Constitution. His brother was John Carroll, the first Catholic bishop in the United States. Most recently, Mr. Joe Biden recently became a Mason in South Carolina. Now, Masons listening, you may not like that one way or the other, but he did. In an era where the need for unity and collaboration across different societal structures is paramount, I respectfully submit that reconsidering the Church's stance on Freemasonry could be a positive step forward for both institutions. Freemasonry, with its emphasis on morality, charity, and brotherly loves, shares many values that resonate deeply within Catholic teachings. Allowing Catholics to openly participate could foster greater understanding, dispel misconceptions, and potentially open avenues for collaboration on shared goals and human betterment. I understand that this is a complex issue with a long history. However, I am hopeful that under your wise guidance, a path toward greater reconciliation and understanding can be explored. And then there's a closing statement there. So obviously, I'm not speaking for any Grand Lodge organization, just as a Mason who's not a Catholic, right? We need to, we all know Catholics that are Masons, and we all know big donor Catholics that are Masons. In fact, their priests golf with them, hang out with them, know that they're Masons, but yet still accept the checks. So we don't want there to be an issue where the priests have to turn a blind eye or Catholics have to feel like they're doing something wrong. So the hope is of the letter, which, listen, it's got like a 3% chance, but it's 3% better than if we did nothing, right? So it's important. Some interesting things that we found out on this, on the research before we put the letter out is, go back to John Carroll, right? The first Roman Catholic bishop in the United States that later became the first Archbishop of Baltimore. He played a significant role in establishing the Catholic Church in our newly formed nation. Think about the time. In 1789, he was appointed the Bishop of Baltimore. In 1808, he was the first Archbishop of Baltimore, the founder of Georgetown University. He established St. Mary's Seminary because there was a shortage of priests, so that's why he founded that in 1791. This is interesting. He was an advocate for religious freedom, right? This is important. A strong proponent for religious liberty and worked to ensure that Catholics were seen as loyal American citizens in that predominantly Protestant society at the time. He engaged in public discourse to defend Catholic rights and promote tolerance. Think about this as where the Catholic Church doesn't really like that Freemasonry opens up to all religions, right? Even though we're not religious, we have to believe in a supreme deity. There's a little bit of an issue there, and you can go back if you just look at the link above when we had the priest on our podcast. That was kind of a big problem. So what do you think? Do you think this is much to do about nothing? Do you think more Masons should reach out to the bishops in their area and say, hey, you know I'm a Mason, and maybe lobby to do something different? If there's ever a time to make a change, it's when we have a new, younger American Pope, and we're able to share that we're just normal humans. We just want to be part of the bigger picture and not put some of our members in a position where they don't have full disclosure with their church. Let us know what you think in the comments. Thanks for joining the Old Fashioned Masonic Podcast.